Hi, friends. Let's talk about some terrible songs. We haven't done that in a while. As Charles Barkley would say, terrible songs. In my research for the 2005 flashback videos, I found a whole gaggle of terrible songs that may or may not be on my usual radar. So I started throwing them over in another list, and let's talk about them. 2005, two of the biggest songs of that year. I know because I worked at a gas station and we had a little clock radio that always played the local radio station. That was kind of the egregious, not easy listening, but the dentist office music type of stuff. And Bad Day by Daniel Powter and You're Beautiful by James Blunt. And my opinion of those songs have vaguely, mildly changed since that day when I had to hear them every hour on the hour, both of them. I hated both of those songs. They're so insipid and middle of the road and perfect pop music fodder that they were just awful. But now, 20 years removed, I've quite a different opinion, somewhat. Bad Day is not that terrible of a song. I can actually handle it if I have to. I would choose not to, but Todd in the Shadows did an excellent video breaking down that guy's whole career and that song. But he was never able to follow it up. He was kind of a one-trick pony, and that song's all you got out of the deal. The opposite is true of James Blunt. And though You're Beautiful is still an objectively terrible song, he seems to be quite a talented person and sort of self-deprecating and looks back on it and he understands why people hate him for that song. So I give him a little bit of credit for that. Other songs from 2005 would be Foo Fighters, The Best of You. And I don't hate that song, but once again, it just became so overplayed. And that became like their stadium song. You hear that at big sports events, and it's just a like kind of a egregious like attempt to create an anthem, and I just don't appreciate it, and especially in lieu of how good some Foo Fighters songs are. They were one of those bands, just like Weezer, I'll talk about next. Weezer and Foo Fighters both have this thing where they put out something truly amazing, and then the next thing they put out is just insipid garbage. And I think, okay, well, I guess I'm finally done with that band. And then the next thing they put out is something amazing again. So I keep going back and forth with those two bands, and I call myself a fan of Foo Fighters and Weezer, but they're just both just so hit and miss on different levels. The Weezer song from 2005 was Beverly Hills, and it being their biggest hit that they've ever had, I like to think of it as the Weezer's sense of humor, and I like to think of it as satire. It's their only top 10 hit, and I think that was kind of sort of by design, but also sort of by accident. The lyrics are kind of cheesy and like, we want to be big rock stars, but we don't want to do it like, we want to do it our way. It's kind of, I feel like Weezer's like whole modus operandi, though every album has that one song like this one that's This is the single. This is the song we wrote to placate pop radio, and then all our good stuff is later on in the album. And I don't know why why Rivers just doesn't just write good music. They went up and down, and they've got whole albums that are just garbage, and then they have, every once in a while, they'll put out something that is just like spellbindingly good. And I know it's in them still. I just don't know why. Beverly Hills is just a total color by numbers. The groove and the chords are exactly the same as I Love Rock and Roll and The Joker by Steve Miller and probably a bunch of other songs. I mean, literally the tempo and the groove and the chord progressions are all just that generic. Here's a catchy, bouncy rock song. And the talk box solo is just absolutely terrible. The sound is terrible and the playing is mildly bad. All right, enough of that. Moving on. Let's talk about Nickelback. You can't have a video about terrible songs without mentioning Nickelback. And I say that in jest because we have kind of culturally taken our boot off of Nickelback's neck a little bit as we've shifted the majority of hate to Imagine Dragons as the epitome of terrible corporate rock and roll. But the song Photograph still just makes me violently angry. I talked about this in another terrible songs video, and it's just such fake emotion and just like playing on the heartstrings of the listener. And it's a story song, and I've said before, I just don't like story songs. Don't tell me about your buddies. Don't name them by names. Just sing me a catchy song. Just tell me some kind of inspirational. I want your chorus to be just some kind of inspirational quote that would be on a poster. Don't give me details. I don't give a shit. Oh, 2004, 2005. Came out in 2004, but it was big in 2005, was Gwen Stefani's Hollaback Girl. And it's on or at the top of many, many worst songs of the year lists. And I feel like it's kind of just an easy target. And I listened to it for this video again, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it like I did then. It was everywhere back then, so of course you hated it, and it was just kind of insipid and silly. But it's silly, but it's also fun. And the idea behind the song, Courtney Love calling Gwen Stefani a cheerleader that makes cheerleader music. She just went and made a cheerleader song. And I just think that's really cool. I think Gwen Stefani has kind of become part of the establishment, like separated from what she started out as in No Doubt, but she has maintained some of her integrity, I think, through it all, and I don't hate Hollaback Girl. Next, let's talk about a song by Simple Plan. I never knew about this song. Apparently in 2005, they had a song called Untitled, and in parentheses, How Could This Happen to Me? And first off, it's just a blatant ripoff of The Reason by Hoobastank that came out the year before, which was a surprise hit. And the other thing that makes me hate it is, besides being a blatant cash grab to try to say, oh well, they did a ballady kind of song. We're gonna do one exactly like that. It's called Untitled, but then you have a title in parentheses. It's not entitled if you have a title. It's called How Could This Happen to Me? Don't say it's untitled and then put the title in parentheses. It's just fucking dumb. But that's longer than I needed to talk about them and that song because it's not relevant enough to even call them out on. Let's switch gears. Let's talk about Toby Keith. The song from 2005 that I saw, I'm not a country fan, so I didn't even know about this song, was called As Good As I Once Was. And it's not terrible. I sort of respect Toby Keith, especially in his patriotic 9/11 days. After that, he sort of went like all, I'll put a boot in your ass for America, and all that stuff is just cash grab, like patriotic porn garbage. But his terrible song is Red Solo Cup. That song is absolute garbage. The song is garbage. The lyrics are stupid. Oh, I hate it. That song makes me violent. I hate it, hate it, hate it. But in 2005, there was a country song that I hate as much as that called Honky Tonk Badonka Donk. And I've totally forgotten who even did it. It doesn't even matter. That song is awful. It's just, once again, egregious, fucking lowest common denominator garbage. And your country, you don't get to sing about asses. That's strictly the realm of hip-hop and rap. Sing about asses. Your country, you sing about your pickup truck, your dirt roads, your case of beer, your bottle of whiskey. You don't get to sing about asses. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Speaking of appropriation of hip-hop, Ben Folds put out a cover of Bitches Ain't Nothing But Hoes and Tricks. And I'm so sick of this white guy doing a cool hip-hop song to try to be cool. Ed Sheeran kind of, sort of did it okay when he did Trap Queen and that Beyonce song. But Ed Sheeran is talented. Ben Folds is talented too, but don't do this kind of thing, man. In the late 90s, they started this whole thing with Dynamite Hack did a cover of Boys in the Hood, and we all just thought that was wonderful. And especially since I liked Eazy-E a lot, so I knew that Boys in the Hood song. But it was funny seeing a white guy sing those words and doing it in just the whitest, stalest, acoustic-y kind of way. But, it just became overdone. Everybody did it. There was a cover of 99 Problems by Jay-Z that, once again, not even worth remembering who the artist was. But it was just terrible. And they didn't even do the whole song. Those guys weren't even good enough to do the rap parts. They didn't even do any of the verses. They just took the chorus of 99 Problems, but a bitch ain't one, and just turned it into a whole song. And they had the double sin of the appropriation of hip-hop and being sort of adjacent to the stomp, clap, hey genre, which is just unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. One of the only good examples of the appropriation of a hip-hop song was the Gorge doing Gin and Juice. And that song is absolutely fabulous. I actually would prefer to listen to their version of that more than the Snoop Dogg version of it. And A lot of you that know about downloading back in the day, in the early 2000s, know that everybody got this Gin and Juice song, and it was always mislabeled. There was a thing about downloading music back in those days when you would always get these get a track that everybody had, but since it was all file sharing, everybody had the same mislabeled version of the song. And this version of Gin and Juice by the Gourds, so you can actually go accurately look up where it came from, was always appropriated to Fish. It was always attributed to Fish. And everybody knew that was wrong, but we didn't care. It was just the name of the file. So the song was so good that it got shared so much. And Fish, Gin and Juice. That's not even what it was. The last example, I think, was about that time, 2005. Alanis Morissette did a slow acoustic, like, sad version of My Humps by Black Eyed Peas. And it's just unlistenable. And while we're on the subject of hip-hop and rap, in 2005, on all of the, like, bad song lists or worst songs of the year lists, there just seemed to be an unnecessarily large amount of fucking songs. Songs about fucking. And I know that's a thing that all the hip-hop and R&B and rap is about fucking, but Candy Shop by 50 Cent is not a great song. In lieu of what I feel about all these other songs, it looms large above all the rest of them. It's actually not that bad of a song. And also the Whisper song by Yin Yang Twins. I didn't really like that at the time. I thought it was dumb. But now I heard it recently and it's kind of catchy. I get it. But there was a song called Pretty Ricky called Your Body that was just, it was just gross and obtuse in the blatant sexual lyrics, and it's just embarrassing to listen to. I don't know how anybody could like that kind of shit. And then there was the one with the squeaky bed song. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I didn't even look up to figure out what song it was, but the song with the squeaky bed is just gross. I kind of messed up my algorithm a little bit looking up some of these songs to do this video, so hope you appreciate that a little bit. Next is some cover songs. Crazy Frog was big in, I can't remember if it was 2004 or 2005. It's all kind of blurring together now, but they had that cover of the Axel F, the Beverly Hills Cop song, which was totally unnecessary. The original is an electronic song already. It's a keyboard instrumental, and pretty much all they did was just add the little Crazy Frog making a couple of noises in it. I think they actually re-recorded it. It's not an actual sample that I know of. I may be wrong. But that was terrible. There was a terrible cover of Listen to Your Heart, which is a beautiful ballad by Roxette from late 80s. Is it late 80s or early 90s? I can't remember. But there's just no need for a cover of Listen to Your Heart. And I like a lot of that electronic dance, Euro dance stuff that came out right about this time, that another night, another and Rhythm of the Night. Those are all decent songs, but Listen to Your Heart was done in that style, and it's just dumb. And the last cover would be Bono doing a terrible version of Hallelujah 10, 11 years after Jeff Buckley obviously owns that song now. It was written by Leonard Cohen, but Jeff Buckley owns that song, and it was just stupid for Bono to think that he could add anything to the emotion of that song. That's just, I hope it was for charity. That's all I think about that song. It just seems like something that, I hope it was on a charity album or a charity single or something, because other than that, it was just not necessary. So that was 2005, 2004, 2005. Let's skip back and also have some lists from 94 and 95. And we'll start with Lump. I Get the Presidents of the United States. The band is fun and silly, and I like a lot of their songs. Their song Matchbox was kind of cool, and Peaches got a little overdone, and it's such an earworm that I hated that song for years. But I listened to it recently, and I didn't hate it as much. But Lump can suck a dick. I freaking hate that song, and I will never sing that song not as the Weird Al. He's Gump whenever I hear it. Green Day had a song called Jar, Jar. It was named after somebody, and it's not terrible. I mean, as far as Green Day goes, and it's 90s Green Day, so it's before they got all high and mighty in the 2000s and thought that they can make a concept album, and then thought that they could make a Broadway musical out of one of their concepts. And that Jar song is basically just Basket Case. They just redid Basket Case. It's just not necessary. Another song from that time that I knew the name Del Amitri, and I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was an R&B band. I think I was getting it confused with D'Angelo. And I listened to it and I was like, oh, that's that song. Roll to Me is that it's one of those, there was that period right there where Blues Traveler and all those bands that sounded just like Blues Traveler, Gin Blossoms and Spin Doctors and the Nixons, and there was another song on the radio that I can't quite think of that was that exact same style. And it's just, it's a catchy little song, but there's just no substance to it. It's just, I could do without it. The Four Non Blondes, What's Up? That's another one that just got so overplayed, and it's so simple that there's no reason for it to be overplayed. And it's a good song. It's a good song, but it just got so overplayed for how good it is. And I work at the bar, and there's some people that come in 2 or 3 times a week, and she plays that song 3 times a night. So I hear that song now more than I did when it was popular in 1993 or 94. And it drives me up a wall. The Rembrandts, that's another one of those middle of the road radio songs. They got big with that I'll Be There For You song from the Friends theme song. I could do without it. Cotton Eye Joe was still big. I don't know why that song was so huge. It was big in 94, and then it was still big in 95. And it's just stupid. I think people liked it because it was stupid, but just unnecessary. And I think it's tried to make a resurgence a couple of times. People are trying to be ironic and listen to Cotton Eye Joe. Please don't. Collective Soul is another band that that kind of came out right there, 94, 95, so they were having all their big hits. Gel was a neat song, except for the vocals. The vocals were the worst part. It's just that it's like Bush and Collective Soul and who's the other one I'm thinking of? Oh, shoot. Let's see. Oh, of course. Hootie. All took that grunge sound in their voice, that marble-mouthed, and just kind of watered it down even more than it already was. I mean, Eddie Vedder sings like that, but at least he's talented for the most part. All these bands just did this watered down version of what grunge and the spark of grunge was. And Collective Soul, they had some neat songs, but the vocals are awful and unlistenable to me. And Hootie was huge this year. You'll see when I do the Billboard year-end countdown for 2005. Let Her Cry, Hold My Hand, Only Want to Be With You, and all those songs. Just put that album, was that the Cracked Rear View album, I think, and just sold like 7 million copies that year. I don't know why everybody was on this Hootie train, and it's just awful. I tried listening to some of those songs now. I thought, well, maybe it won't be as bad after 20 years, and oh my God, it's still just the worst. And makes me think about like when Darius Rucker went solo and said he was going country, and I was like, what's the difference? I mean, compared to rock, and especially rock at that time, Hootie was country. Last couple songs I want to talk about are just for its title. I didn't even need to listen to the song. Aaliyah had a song called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, which is gross considering that she was groomed by R. Kelly since she was 14 years old. And it's super sad, rest in peace that Aaliyah died. But, that song is just gross, knowing what we know now. Another song that I hated from that time was Desiree, called You Gotta Be. And it's a list song. You gotta be this, you gotta be that, you gotta be da da da, you gotta be this, you gotta be that, you gotta be da da da. And it's so stupid. It's a dumb song. And another list song, not from 2005, but it was right here next to it, so I might as well just mention it, was that Meredith Brooks song, Bitch, which she kind of took the angry white girl thing that Alanis Morissette had and tried to make a career out of it. And obviously nobody cared beyond that one song. And she does the same thing. I'm a bitch, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this. The whole song is a list. A list is not a song. A list is a list. And it's kind of sad because I really believe that Meredith Brooks was a good guitar player. She should have been in a band as a guitar player, but somebody thought that they'd pull her out front and turn her into like this, the next Alanis Morissette, and it just didn't happen. Anyway, last song I want to talk about is in this age, in 1995, post-grunge, after grunge supposedly killed hair metal, of all the bands to have a big hit in 1995 was Firehouse. And they had a song called I Live My Life For You, which was a ballad. They already had their ballad. I thought Love of a Lifetime was their one-hit wonder ballad. But apparently they had another big hit. And I'm a huge fan of a lot of that hair metal stuff. I hate the term hair metal, but we'll talk about that in another video. But He was so whiny. He was so whiny. He was the epitome of what made all that hair metal stuff bad. They, rest in peace, CJ Snare, the lead singer who died last year, the year before. But they were so whiny. They're the epitome of why grunge killed hair metal. And this song is just so insipid and terrible. And just, I mean, their first song was Don't Treat Me Bad. Oh my gosh, don't treat me bad. You're such a mean girl and you treat me bad. And then they had a couple of like sappy love. Finally found the love of a lifetime. Oh my God, get over yourself. Oh, so terrible. So terrible. But I got myself all worked up. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Leave it right there. And like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. I love you.